it's time to share the tea on how much living in New York City is. New York City has been known to be the most expensive city in the world. Now, obviously, different sources are going to say different things, but I'm about to tell you guys how much I spend in New York City as a 20-something working in finance, making tiniest extra bit as a content creator. Like, I mean tiny, like I probably shouldn't even count it tiny. Now, I think I live a pretty comfortable life living in New York City, but obviously whatever is comfortable is subjective. But if you are looking to move to New York City, or you currently live there and you're trying to rework your budget, this could potentially be some good inspo for you. So let's start with how much I make. I will say that I do not make six figures. I make just below it, but I do think a lot of people at my level who are working in finance do make six figures. But unfortunately, my company don't be paying that money, but at least I have a good work-life balance and I have a social life. So the biggest expense of all, rent. Now, I noticed a lot of people who moved recently and are in that six-figure range for their salary and are around my age are paying just a little over 2K in rent. Now, luckily, I pay just under 2K in rent. Now, I will say I do have two other roommates and I moved in during a better time of year. So if you move in the summer, for example, that's a really popular time to move, so rent prices go up like crazy. But we moved January 1st, which is around the holidays, like the gross winter season. It's not a popular time to be moving, so luckily we did save a lot on rent. Now, obviously rent is going to change depending on which neighborhood you move in. You can move further out into Brooklyn and be paying probably like $1,300 for a one bedroom, but I am living in the literal heart of Manhattan, so I'm really lucky with my rent price. But if you want more tips about moving to New York City, I'll link a video up here about 10 things I wish I knew before moving, because I have moved 4 times in the past 2 years, so I think I'm a pro in moving around New York City. Okay, in terms of other bills, I'm gonna be lumping in together like electricity and my subscriptions, because these are monthly fixed costs that I'm paying every month. So in terms of Wi-Fi, we pay $30 each, so $90 total, and we work with Verizon. They're actually a great company to work with, so if you're looking for good Wi-Fi, I definitely recommend Verizon. In terms of like electricity, water, all of that, water, gas, and heat is included in our rent. With electricity, we actually pay $30 a person, which is actually really, really cheap, especially for the summer months, because AC is included in our rent. That is so rare, so rare. So before I lived in this apartment, I think I was paying about $80 to $100 each month in electricity costs, but that's like during the summer when we're paying for AC and things get really expensive. I think our most expensive month that I've ever had was like $300, $350, something like that. And then of course there's all the subscriptions, so I am paying quite a bit in storage, $15 a month, because I am a content creator. I need a ton of storage. Also paying for like New York Times, the Hulu bundle with ESPN and Disney, no ads, $25 a month, and various other subscriptions. So basically all my fixed costs, including rent, my bills, subscriptions, end up being just around $2,100 a month. Now, there are other fixed costs of necessities, but they tend to fluctuate a little bit, which is groceries and transportation. So I did a bit of a guesstimate on these. I generally spend about $70-ish per week on groceries. And then in terms of public transportation, you're not supposed to be spending more than 12 trips per week if you have your card registered in Omni. Now, I will say, I don't think they're actually doing that for my card, and I'm currently fighting their customer service, but whatever. So in terms of groceries, I'm just guessing I'm spending about $300 per month. And then in terms of transportation, it's $140 per month, because each ride is $290, 12 rides a week. Multiply that by 4, it's about $140. And now we're getting into a bit of a touchy subject. That is savings. Now, this doesn't include what is going into my 401k. This is what I'm doing in addition once I get my check. So I am saving about $1,000 each month. My financial advisor recommends that I have 3 to 6 months of my expenses saved in my regular savings before I go all in on throwing my money into the markets and my portfolio. My current savings that I have is a high yield savings account, my basic regular savings that I've had since I was like 12, I don't know, whenever you can open up one of those basic bank accounts. And then I also have a Roth IRA and a money market account. The Roth IRA and the money market, that is my portfolio that I work with my financial advisor. And then my high yield savings and my regular savings account, that's just on me. Now, I want to say, yes, I work in finance. Yes, I have a financial advisor, but this doesn't mean this is exactly what you have to do. This is simply what I do that could potentially give you some inspiration or just, I don't know, a benchmark for yourself. It doesn't have to be though. Everyone's different with this kind of stuff. So out of that grand, about a third of that is going into my portfolio towards my Roth IRA. And then generally towards the end of the year or when my bonus hits, then I will max out my Roth IRA. Now, the other 2/3 is going into my high yield savings account generally. I have that other savings account. It's just there. I'd rather put my money into my high yield savings account because I'm getting a lot in interest every month. And who doesn't like practically free money? So currently I am working towards that 3 to 6 months of expenses in savings, but it can get a little bit difficult if you, I don't know, go to the ER, for example, which is where I was earlier this year. It's fine. I'm fine. Once I hit that 3 to 6 months, I'm aiming for 6 months. I like a cushion. I like safety. Then I will go all in on my portfolio. So this actually brings me to my total of what my monthly expenses are that I can't avoid. I mean, obviously I can like cancel subscriptions and stuff, but say I don't do that, that is $3,400 a month. Now that leaves me $2,600, which means I probably could be saving more. I should probably start doing that. But now I have this money left over for the more fun stuff. So I decided to actually look at one of the summer months because, you know, we're outside having fun and it tends to be more expensive. So I might as well give you one of the more expensive months. However, I will say this is a month where I didn't travel but was planning travel. So I did have travel expenses, but it's not like I was out in Iceland, which is where I'm going in a few weeks, and spending a lot of extra money. Now I will say I'm a really good budget traveler without being like overly budget and going to hostels and backpacking. I literally made a week in Aruba cheaper than living in New York City. So if you want to see about that, I'll link it up here. Water break. Now we're getting into the more fun stuff. So this one I was actually pretty proud of considering it was a more expensive month, how much I spent eating out. Now this is on dinners and Uber Eats and stuff like that. $350. Not bad. Now I will say I have a separate category for like coffee and like buying food in my office and going to a bar. So it's actually a lot higher, but just in terms of plain restaurants, $350. Now, I will preface, I do tend to go out to eat a lot, but it's because I am a content creator, so the only thing I have to pay is tip. So I probably wouldn't be going out as much if I wasn't a content creator and still probably be spending about $350 to $400. But I just wanted to preface with that in case you check my Instagram and you're like, damn, this girl's eating out all the time. How is she only spending $350? It's because, I won't lie, I'm a content creator, so I get a lot of stuff that's comped and I just pay tip. But look, you can be a creator too. New York City restaurants love bringing in these creators and giving them free meals. Now I have a whole separate section for coffees and cafes because if you know me, you know I spend at least one day every weekend just sitting in a coffee shop, editing my content, reading a little book. Something about a coffee shop just makes me so happy, and that's my me time. So I just decided to make that a separate section. For coffees and cafes, I'm spending $140 a month. Hey guys, currently editing this video and I had to interrupt because I was like, $140 doesn't actually make sense. Say I go twice a week, that's how many times I go at most. Say I get a coffee and a treat. That means I am going for $15 each time. If I get a coffee and a treat, say I do it twice a week, then that's $120 a month. But then I'm not getting a coffee and a treat every time, so I'm not going to be spending $120. And I was like, gotta do this math again. Turns out I actually spent $95. What I think I did, I probably got up to $90, and then instead of putting an additional $5, I put a $50. I added a 0 to that. I don't know how I did that. Maybe I hit the 0 instead of the equals button. So 90 plus 50 is 140, so it's probably how I got to that calculation, but I was supposed to be at 95, so I actually spent less than $100 on coffee. I apologize for messing that up so badly. Don't know how I did that. Anyways, returning to your regularly scheduled programming. I know I can make my own coffee, my own matcha, and I do. But it's my me time, okay? So I'm spending $140 on me time. That's not bad. Now I have a separate section for how much I spend when I'm working in the office. I'm actually really lucky that my office has a cafe inside of it, so it's all subsidized, where everything that you pay for is at cost. So a sandwich is $6, a roll of sushi is $5, a big old plate of food can be $8. So for that, I am spending, sorry, I had to check. I'm spending about $120 per month. I go in 2 to 3 times per week, and I'm spending about $10 every day because breakfast sandwiches, $2.50. And then if I spend another like $7, $8 on lunch, $10 a day, $120 per month. Now this one, y'all, I don't know why I'm spending so much money at this place, but I realized I had to create a whole separate section for this. Amazon. I don't know what I am buying, but I buy so much random stuff from Amazon. Like if I realize, oh, I need something for the kitchen, let me purchase that. Like this plant stand over here I bought from Amazon, my bedding Amazon. So like it makes sense, but I'm looking around my room and I'm like, did I buy this much stuff? But I spent $270 on Amazon.
What did he say?
I don't know what I'm buying. You probably don't need to be spending that much. I think I would spend $270 in a whole year when I was in college. And then this was a big month for shopping, I realized. So other shopping besides Amazon, $480. $480. I will say, I did treat myself this month because I landed my first big brand deal. So I bought myself a nice little purse that was $270. So maybe my shopping is more like $200-$300 on a normal month. But like I said, I'm giving you the more expensive month. Now for travel. So I wasn't actually traveling this month, but I was preparing for future travel. So I did purchase a flight ticket back to my hometown. And I also purchased a few nights in a hotel in Iceland. So that came out to be $475 approximately. So basically every month I'm probably spending on travel, which a lot of people probably aren't doing. But I save money from going out because a lot of my meals are comped, and I also am not a big drinker, so I'm not spending a lot at bars. So I'm able to spend more on travel. I will say before I was a New York City creator, I was just a travel creator, but people loved the New York City stuff, so I started posting about that on Instagram. But I'm bringing back the travel creator in me on YouTube. So be on the lookout for my Iceland vlog and how much Iceland is. So yeah, I do feel really lucky that I am able to travel as frequently as I can, because, you know, working 9 to 5, you have limited time and not everyone has those funds to spend. But you know, while you're young, in your 20s, it is time to go out and have some fun before you have to take care of a kid or something. Now it is time for bars. I'm going to just say that for someone at my age, I do not go out a lot. I love staying home on the weekends. When it's a Friday and I have 0 plans, I'm like, like, thank you so much. Like, I'm so glad I'm not doing anything. Yeah, so obviously coffee shop me time and nighttime me time where I do a little face mask. Yeah, so I am not big on going out. I did have 2 big nights this month. So I went to a Yankees game and then I went out to Billy's afterwards. If you know, you know. And then I just had like a really good night with my roommates and one of my friends from high school. So that came out to $140. This was 2 nights out. This was just 2 nights out in New York City, and I spent $140, which means $70 a night. That was probably like 3 drinks and a food item, to be honest. So if you're one of those people who like to go out every weekend, you're definitely going to have to think about your budget a little bit more in terms of that. But again, that is why I am able to spend a little bit more on travel and experiences, because I'm just not a big drinker. I will say I used to be, like, I was a big partier and then I got over it, and yeah. I heard you get a second win when you're in your late 20s, but we'll see if that's true. I'll keep you posted soon. And unfortunately, the part of growing up is paying medical bills. Now, this year has been a little more tough on my health. That tends to happen when you move to a new city, start a big new fancy job, you know, you get stressed, your body kind of shuts down a bit. Yeah, you get it. So medical bills. I had to get an MRI the month before this month, and then I got the bill for that, so that was $220. Obviously, when I went to the ER earlier this year, that was like a $2,000 bill, but it's fine, we're good. This is also why saving that 3 to 6 months of expenses can get a little bit hard because you get hit with those medical expenses. And then I would say for other things, like maybe you try a new workout class and pay for a drop-in, or you pay for a ticket for some event or something, like $100. I'm not big on going to like concerts, even though I do think they're a lot of fun. But yeah, this is generally what my expenses tends to look like. So in terms of all my other things like restaurants, traveling, shopping, I was spending $2,200 that month, which obviously that is subjective to my spending. And if you are very frugal with your money, you really love to save, blah blah blah, then you're probably not going to be spending that much. Or if you are a bit of a shopaholic and you enjoy shopping, maybe you're going to be spending a little more than that. But yeah, when I was in college and not making big girl money, I was making minimum wage in the South. Spending $30 quite literally hurt my soul. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, Jen, you're young, enjoy your life a bit, you're still saving money, like let's have fun. $3,400 in my fixed cost, $2,200 in my fun cost, that is $5,600, and I have $400 left over that I could throw into savings. Or I don't know, you get hit with a really big medical bill, who knows, I am about to do another MRI, so that $400 is going towards that. So again, this is obviously not financial advice. This is just how much I spend as a 20-something in New York City working in finance. So it's just like inspiration, or you know, if you want to compare how much you're spending versus someone else, or you're trying to figure out if you can afford it, you know, this is a video to look at. You can also look at my 10 tips before moving to New York City and whatnot. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe because I do want to help as many people as possible. And if you like this video, it gets pushed out to others, and I believe this video could be helpful for some people. If not, I don't know, let me know. Maybe it's not helpful for you, but I like to see these videos. It kind of helps me gauge where I'm at. But if you made it to the end of this video, you're my absolute favorite as always, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.